You heard it. I have the right to murder my child. Yes, I'm admitting it's a child, but I have the right to murder them because it's my body and they invaded my property and I do not consent to them being on my property. Therefore, I have the right to murder them. So if you found someone tied up in your room, do you have the right to shoot them? How about rip their arms and legs from their body? How about stuff a cyanide pill down their throat? What about drown them? What about cover them in a salt solution until they literally wither away? Yes, that's right. Abortion is not okay. Okay, so let's talk about this. We've talked about bodily autonomy a little bit with the my body, my choice thing, but we're going to talk about it some more. I'm Kate the Great, by the way, and this is my channel, Kate the Great. And I'm going to talk about bodily autonomy. I feel like a broken record. Okay, so some people like to say that they should not be forced to give their child their kidney if their child is in need of it. They're right. It should not be against the law for a parent to not give their child their kidney. However, what kind of parent are you if you're not willing to give up one of your kidneys to save your child's life? Seriously. Like, you are a bad parent if you do that. I mean, how do you... You can't claim to love your child and then not be willing to give them your kidney if they are dying and this is the only thing that will save them. Okay. So, bodily autonomy arguments. If it's your property, okay, other than the closet, the person tied up in your property, you find tied up in your house. What about Carl from Up? You remember that movie? The one where the elderly man flies away in balloons and then finds a little boy on his porch when he's like 1,600 feet up in the air? Does he have the right to push that child off of his porch? He didn't ask for the child to be on his porch. Now, the child was trying to help him, and he didn't know that the child was on the porch, and the child didn't know that the house was going to fly up into the air. Should he be able to push the child off of his porch to the child's death? Of course not. Of course not. It should be illegal. Well, you might say, well, what if his mother and that's because his mother and father would be mourning him and they didn't consent to it. But in abortion, you're consenting to it. And what about the women who are doing it behind their parents' backs? Or their husband's back? Or against their express will? Or what if that child was an orphan? Is it still okay? Is it okay if they're an orphan to push them off? I would say not. Okay. So we've talked about that. Now we're going to talk about the violinist. You ready? Here we go. You wake up in the morning and find yourself back to back in bed with an unconscious violinist. A famous unconscious violinist. He has been found to have a fatal kidney ailment, and the Society of Music Lovers has canvassed all the available medical records and found that you, and only you, have the right blood type to help. They have therefore kidnapped you. And last night, the violinist's circulatory system was plugged into yours, so that your kidneys could be used to extract poisons from his blood as well as your own. If he is unplugged from you now, he will die, but don't worry, in 9 months, he will have recovered from his ailment, and you can safely be unplugged from him, or he can safely be unplugged from you. And the person who wrote this, I don't remember her name, but you can Google it, because I'm sure Google would love to supply you with the information. Just type in violinist. That's what I did. I typed violinist into Google and I got this. So you can find it. So this is the violinist argument. It's the most sophisticated argument for abortion I think I've ever heard. It's still not fabulous, but then there is no good reason to murder your child. So it's to be expected. Yes, you did! Now, when you first hear an argument like this, it might overwhelm you a little bit, and you're just like in a state of panic. Don't worry. There is a response to this. And not all of this is my original response. Some of it is me thinking, like regurgitating, or maybe adding to, absorbing some of the stuff that people wiser than I am have said. So here we go. First of all, let's talk about how the violinist situation is different from pregnancy, because it is in a lot of ways. First of all, the violinist is not related to you in any way. Your child at least has half of your DNA. So already, this is surrogate. You are pregnant with a surrogate child. Okay? Second of all, you had no choice in this whatsoever. It was done completely against your will. That would mean that it's also rape. So, rape is already in 2% of abortions, and I've never heard of any surrogates that are murdered via abortion. I think surrogates, people choose to be surrogate mothers, right? I didn't even know that was a thing a little while ago. I mean, I know what adoption is, but I don't know about surrogate stuff. Anyway, you're not having your own child, you're having somebody else's child, and it's a rape. Alright, this is already in less than 2, actually, I don't think there are any pregnancies like this. Period. You've already lost all pregnancies. Furthermore, you are unable to leave your bed, right? Because you're hooked up to this person mechanically, and there's like a tube outside your body that connects to him. That's 2 differences from pregnancy. 1, you're forced on bed rest, which is completely different. Also, there's like a mechanical thing, so it's like you're on life support and pregnant. This is so not a real pregnancy that it's crazy. Yeah. So this is not even close to a real pregnancy. And even if it was a real pregnancy, any one of these things makes it in the minority of pregnancies. Okay. Even if it was all pregnancies, does the person have the right to abort their child? No. No. The answer is no. Now, in the situation with the violinist, the woman should be allowed to unhook from the a violinist, unless she poisoned the violinist in the first place, and it's her fault that he needed somebody to be hooked up to him in the first place, in which case she should definitely stay hooked up to him because she owes him. Right? Okay. She's the one who caused the problem in the first place, so she gets to be the solution. But let's say it's not. Here's why. Abortion is different from simply denying help. Denying help would be like disconnecting from the violinist. Abortion is different. It's actively murdering. Okay? You can disconnect from the violinist, but you cannot rip his arms and legs from his body. You cannot crush his skull and suck his brains out. You cannot disembowel him. You cannot cover him in a saline solution for several days until he dies. You cannot drown him or smother him with a pillow. You cannot starve him to death. You cannot stab him. You're not supposed... Those things should all be illegal. You should not be allowed to shove a cyanide pill down his throat. Let's use some sense, people. I would say common sense, but common sense actually isn't common. So let's just say sense. So yeah, you can't do that. That's my response to the violinist argument. If you have a better argument, or you would like to tell me why I'm wrong, please do so in the comments down below. If you think I'm amazing, and you want to tell me that, please do so in the comments down below. By the way, I got some of this information from the Fetal Position podcast, and they are pretty awesome. I believe his name is Elijah. And he also has this dank pro-life memes page on Facebook. And so, you can feel free to go and check those out. He doesn't know me and I don't know him, but he's pretty cool. So, there. Shout out to you if you're watching this. And anyway, have a good day. Bye.